Look at the red X in the background of the mountain. The place where the treasure is supposed to be, Aya said. The treasure is in the Rocky Mountains. The mountain is now in the animal kingdom. It must have been covered in snow by now. Don't tell me to find treasure in the snow. Hell, you can't even go there. Hearing that, Ellie lost her joy. At first, the map was complete. Reclining on the couch reproaching his father. What did that old man think? I can't get the treasure now. It is as easy as not hiding. My sister said a little too much. Speak up with me. You probably didn't expect it at the time. I've never seen this treasure map before. I am not going to use this treasure. In exchange for weapons. I've been looking at the treasure map. If you can't get it, ask the princess. So now, the weapon has to do something. Ellie fell back into this problem real you lie. Princess Hira sighed and said, See your purpose in the Atlantic City. It can't be done. I went back to the tribe and thought about how. Ellie thought for a moment and then came over and held her sister's hand. You should still go and talk to the young master first. When the family heard about it, they refused. Ellie, I'm going to pray. If so, no need. Ellie's voice became strong, and she said yes. Just follow me first. I look at my little sister every day. Weak to be bullied. I need protection. It's become so hard now. Elsa was surprised. Ellie has never been so strong. To Ellie's strong persuasion, Aya agreed to meet the exile. At the owner's office, Ellie is presenting her intentions about the lack of weapons for the beast tribe to fight those who are 5th invasion. Ellie told Liu Feng that's what happened. Even though she has no money for the time being. But I will pay later. Just listen to it and agree. I didn't think the judge agreed so quickly. Ellie happily shouted for the young master to agree then, Sao. Sei Feng happily replied, I believe in. Ellie also trusts the people Ellie trusts. So why do you think it's okay? Next to Ellie is thanking the mess. Thank you, young master. Aya in her head confirmed Ellie's feelings. And save the wind is not wrong. See Zala this room also for Ellie. Looking back, ask again. So how many gas cylinders do you need? Urza thought for a moment and then talked about it. 1,800 spears. Ellie was once again astonished to say. Yes, I agree with this. 1,800 trees. There are so many in the Atlantic City warehouse. Elsa continued, I'm sorry I overdid it. Too afraid to save the lower. I would like to buy 200 trees before I can buy 200. Ellie frowned thinking that in the warehouse was definitely enough. But your weapons won't be enough. Ellie was thinking about changing her face constantly. Save the wind with haha. Ellie's distraught looks are really cute. Liu Feng excitedly replied, I can sell you 1,800 spears. In the form of debt. But I'll have a condition. Here your condition has been met. Elsa was surprised by the conditions. Liu Feng continued, the power of the 2 princes near your domain. Not right. I want you to agree with me. When I met my 2 princes. And together, she gripped the attack before and after. Towards him. Listen to the conditions that the wind just said. In Orica's head thinking. He attacked 2 princes. Not to openly confront the private kingdom. Lamb or Sao people in his tribe now. Most of them are farmers, not trained yet. You can't fight on a large scale. Once there's conflict, The consequences cannot be fooled. But save the room dare to attack the two princes. Wirein, usurping the throne of the LAN palace, or... He looked at Lao Fong and said, "My friends, I have 3 problems. I hope you guys can answer me." "Happy to answer your question." Elsa said 2 things and thought about it. Time to have weapons. I can also quickly train soldiers. The power of the Atlantic is not weak. But think about it. Arya looked at Ellie, who was having fun, smiling eyes. That's the 3rd problem. How do you feel, Ellie? The question is somewhat of a stroke of Arya. Make the wind flushed shy. And Ellie standing next to me is confusing. It's all settled. Ya and Ellie. Leave the room. Outside the door, Milan is anxiously waiting. Ellie had just come out the door and shouted happily. It's done. I take everyone to eat good food. Listen, LAN rules are also great. I've been looking forward to it for a long time, Miss Eli. Let's go eat something. The 2 heads in front of me are excited to talk about eating. Princess out the back. I'm still lost in my thoughts. In my head, I just imagined the scene. Eli gladly swooped in. The wind just thought. After a while, they agreed to cooperate. Ollie was very natural to embrace exile. Room letter. There was no bizarre reaction. Thought of this era, called Ellie. Ellie saw you call back. Then Ellie asked Ellie. I said, let me know if you like to go out. Ellie denied it immediately. Urza was happy to see that. So why is that irrelevant? Just thinking. He is also considered a talented young man. The girls like it a lot. I'm sure they're all looking for an opportunity. I'm just worried you'll get caught up in it. He said, rubbing your head. Little sister, Ellie stammered, shyly. That's bullshit. Why can I do that? My sister was no longer worried. Ellie looked down at the ground, sinking into my own messed up thoughts. In the library, continued to handle the work. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door, Fong said and went. Then Ra is the lady who gathers gin. I just walked in. Catherine called out to her men. She went into the room and closed the door. Catherine seems mysterious. I asked Catherine why. Catherine turned her head. You guys, do you have time tonight? I heard Kathan ask. Save wind surprise. Roll your eyes and open your mouth for an hour. The wind is still shy. Suddenly see that. CA poetry gen eyes full of wondering thinking. The night is falling. In the moonlight. The sky is full of SAO shimmering scenery so lyrical. In the capital. The sound of the piano playing sounds so joyful. In the room. Kather Jin is drowning in the notes, sending out the clear sound. Close your eyes full of enjoyment. Into the music. I remember when Catherine came looking for me, hesitated not to say, I thought I was looking for you for this. I thought she was. The music just ended the casino. Looking forward to the excitement and fun of asking how the music I just composed. You can play it in music or not. Save the Wind applauded warmly. It's beyond my imagination. It's amazing. You can be an idol too. Listen to the winged words of Liu Feng. See a letter please, happy thank you. Thanks for the compliment. Oh my God, it's so fun to realize something. Caban asks Save Feng, what is an idol? What's different from the next piece? Save the Wind gently explained. Member of the orchestra, using musical instruments to perform music. Use music as a medium of communication is to excite the human heart, but only one person has to suffer, in the spirit of many. itself has the effect of encouraging people's hearts. That the idol is more famous, the stronger the personal influence. I finished listening to Liu Feng's explanations. CA poetry, please be curious to ask again. What does the idol need to do? Liu Feng Tong, it's kind of like the need for performance cities. Must be talented to make all the public aware. You must understand yourself, then like you. Here the big things that idols need to do. CA poetry, please think. We have to go to the big cities. It's not about leaving Atlantic City or SAO. If you're an idol, is to leave the Atlantic City. Save the Lord when we don't have to. C.A. Rim's eyes became serious. Catherine laughed back and was bored. Then save the master. If I were an idol, you'd be happy. Asked the surprised. Why did you ask that? Sister Jin bowed her head and said shyly, I want to help you. But I didn't want to leave Atlantic City. Of course, if being an idol can help you. Then I will. Laughing and laughing, that's what Ra is. Actually, in a short period of time, I won't let you leave Atlantic City. I'm not going out to perform. At these words, Catherine blushed shyly. Catherine didn't have to leave Atlantic City happy. Glittering eyes excitedly said so. So I want to be an idol. I can answer, Catherine. I believe in your hand. You are going to be famous for times. To see the exile in favor of Catherine's small voice. I don't need for tanks of fame. I just need to help you. Catherine, fun dancing. Out of the library, the money goes to the dining room. At the table right now is Irina. To see Catherine so happy. I asked Catherine why she was so happy. It's so late, and Irina hasn't slept yet. Catherine saw Esina still sitting at the dinner table. He scratched his head. Hi, Master Liu Feng praised me for playing the piano. That's great, Egina asked with surprised eyes. In the royal capital, you're not few. Catherine wants to talk. Who cares about their words? Irina, I feel like I can get to this Atlantic City. It's really good. I remember living in the old capital. Irina continued. Previously in the capital. Next to them are a couple of flatterers. We're always dealing with each other's tricks. Every second, you have to hold your head up and wear a mask, but in this place, I am myself. Irina heard Catherine talking. I was lost before. Never thought of. One day I will live a peaceful life. Happy like this. Nicola suddenly appeared. On hand is a plate of attractive pastries. If you say so, eat a piece of cake. We'll be happier. The appearance of Annie. Nicola's suspicions startled Catherine. Nicola, when have you been here? Fortunately, the previous paragraph was not heard. Where did Mina go to say? I've been here since the beginning. Catherine shouted timidly when she heard that. So you've heard it all. Lucy is coming too. No need to be embarrassed. Everyone knows a little bit about you. Catherine's mood was now utterly ashamed of Nicola. That I'm not. Nicola gently reassured. No wonder. There are actually cards that a lot of people like. He will not prove his strength later. Mina continued. The first person I met was a nun. I'm curious how young Master was then. Suddenly, everyone asked Theo to ask the nun, how long have you known the devil? It was just as bad at that time as it is now. I can't see that people have ignored my story. Catherine breathed quietly for an hour. Catherine looked at everyone happily thinking. This place doesn't look so good. The atmosphere says what it likes. This is the life I've always wanted. Nicola told everyone about the young master before Kier. Mina said hey. Missing GIA. At first, it was that kind of image. Lucy also added something completely unexpected. Catherine was still lost in her thoughts. It's just Mina martial arts. I have always protected Lord Nicola. School of Internal Affairs. The ant covers the owner neatly. Lucy is the princess of a country of great fame. There she is. There must be a lot of plans. They can all win the agreement. Everyone in this place has a very good side. That my body. Maybe Master Liu Feng deliberately said Ra, because I want to take care of myself. Even though Sao, he's a very gentle person. I am so kind. You can stay forever in a good place like this. Why am I like this? Catherine is sad. I noticed that everyone around me is very good. You have no talent at all. I can't help you, Lord. Catherine thought. I can stand next to him like this. At the same time outside the city, into Somalia, a group of horsemen walking in the forest. It's the tired Duke Keek's company. But then everyone woke up. In front of you is the Somali capital. Up under the moon. The next morning at the Atlantic City Hall, the commander of the New Dai is muttering to the exile. The Somali youth has news. Surprised to ask what to look for. But the tourist continued. Beyond the Malia River, there's an army of about 500 people. The leader is the recipe for litter. This is a junk mail for you. I heard a familiar name. Somewhat surprisingly said Keek. One of the 3 Grand Dukes in the capital. Catherine's father. As if he was right, he surrendered. When I heard this, I laughed and said surrender. Then he ordered Captain B. Help me get Lucy and Catherine. The fisherman raised his hand. Princess Lucy and Miss Catherine were invited to the library. Give them the letter you just received. Kier recipe, very much to surrender. 2 people saw Sao. The 2 girls stared at the letter in front of Lucy. From my perspective, even though I didn't communicate much with Keek, but when I was in the capital, the quarrel between the prince and the duke. That's what everyone knows. The prince wants to sit well. He must destroy those who disagree with him. So, in the commercial sense, he said he was in the royal capital 7 times. Maybe it's true. Remember the evil things. Accidentally what you did to me. Catherine bowed her face sadly and said a little indignantly. But he wanted to use the dukedom. In exchange for the protection of your brother. As long as you have a clear eye, you can see. Is the deception. At the same time in the capital, he wanted to see me as a tool. I have no interest in him now. How could he remember me? Then Catherine looked straight in the eye and said, I don't want you to agree. This is too suspicious. Lucy agrees, I see. She understood the feelings of the 2 girls in front of her. I got it, and then I turned around and gave the order to the fisherman. Prepare the carriage. We're going to Somalia for a trip. The 2 girls in front of me suddenly had a tight budget. Smiling hands replied, 2 people rest assured. You're welcome. I want to see it. He's selling drugs in his lake. But before that, I want Catherine to work with me. I saw the wind suddenly mention me. Catherine was surprised. In the city of Somalia, a city with peaceful green roofs. He and everyone else went to see the Duke. Catherine is talking in the room. Liu Feng said, Your situation, I understand your request. I will also think. The Grand Duke replied, "Thank you for your appointment. So I'm waiting for the good news from you guys." Tired eyes of Karaoke Jack dark circles. Black eyes looking at the girl. I saw the father accidentally staring at me. See a letter, please turn your face angrily. See girls like that. Jack said the recipe. Catherine, I'm sorry I was wrong to leave before. It's useless to say these things, but I'm sure you're okay. The face does not strip away the fatigue. I saw it slack down thin and emaciated. I didn't see Catherine respond. The recipe is very sad and gone. Catherine suddenly stood up and called, "Wait." Say Feng satisfied. Let the two of you have space to talk. Cather Jin and Duke Qi set the tea table. Outside, talking in the fresh garden setting. Pleasant fresh air. Two father and son Cather Jin are reviewing old memories. Millet recipe, Jack says. I remember being raped by Big V before. The results of the evening stone poured water on the bed V. Pretend to pee. Catherine replied, I remember all this. Qi Dak very gently replied, haha, always remember. It was the Duke. I don't have time to think about these things. Now everyone is comfortable. I will naturally remember all the things that happened before. Catherine touched Dad. Think of something. Formula ask. That's right, Catherine. Now I like to save my life. I heard such a sudden question and hit the black heart. Embarrassed to say. Here's my father's formula. Catherine's number is not required. From before, nobles' marriages are political tools. A lot of people, because of their noble status, marry someone you don't like. Now you can find someone you like. I'm really happy. Catherine bowed her head and said thank you. I like him, but... The girl seemed sad. Jack's millet recipe replied that Liu Feng didn't like me. There's no way your daughter is the best. Catherine laughed. Mostly around the world, you are the best. Not even the princess of the Beast Kingdom. Master martial arts, high strength. They also have a knack and the rest know nothing. The girl seemed self-deprecating. Civil servants replied, no, Catherine, don't belittle yourself. You have to be confident that you're good. You are also a man of the earth. No matter how good the person next to you is. They also lack special energy. The wife must own. You get that? I can assure you that the wind will like you. We can make sure of this. To be paid more motivation, Catherine happy. Thank you, Father, the Duke continued. If Catherine doesn't believe, if only I could help you to explore the heart of Liu Feng. Catherine was surprised to hear that. At the wine party, 2 glasses of red wine touching each other. The Grand Duke touched the cup with Liu Feng, said, in case you honor him. I have to rely on days later. The prince replied happily to the Grand Duke. You're welcome. Catherine's face was filled with anxiety. Looking towards the wind. Remember the afternoon. The Grand Duke gave Catherine a small bottle. There's dark water inside. CA poetry, please take the jar asked. Poison meow formula says. Yes, this is a potion from the merman. Just use it. I can hear his true words. Catherine heard the words of love flashing across her ears. Panicked to ask again the truth. Back to the moment. At the party, squealing is talking to the wind. Talk about it. I can make peace with Catherine today. Thanks to you and your friends. Because of this, I would like to invite you for another drink. Then the Grand Duke turned to his daughter. Cather Jin, please get us 2 glasses of wine. Cather Jin was a bit dubious and said, "Yes, father." Cathay Shin, holding the magic pot of fish while waiting for father to give it, worried towards the bottle. Catherine's face contained many secrets. 2 glasses of wine towards the 2 speakers. Save your rooms. The eye litter recipe, some mysterious parts. Say, save the land. Bye. He received a glass of wine from Catherine's hand. A little shallow. See what I want has been achieved. Satisfying recipe, lol, big laugh, ha 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 ha. I saw my father laughing so unnaturally. CA poetry, please say. CA the Duke happily speaks aloud. Who also said, he became an uncle in the Atlantic. It's an extreme character. Intelligent intelligence. I can't believe it was so easy for SA to get in. The Duke finished. Surprised at what you said. The Duke's evil face appeared, he said. Room the lower. The fishman potion in the deep sea, made raw. How does it taste? Listen to the evil father. Catherine asked in a panic for the human potion. I felt the pain in my chest for an hour. Mina stood next to him anxiously. Then his cold eyes turned to the Duke. Glad about the Duke. Liu Feng was poisoned. Mina tried to throw up with me. Don't be poisonous. They must be the only ones who have the cure. If you dare to act rudely, the wind is dead. Vina gritted her teeth angrily, saying, damn. Cathay, see everything. I said, why did you do that? 2 hands held the recipe wine glasses on hand. I left the capital. There are 500 centaurs in your hand. I want to deal with Fong. I've sold a whole bonsai tree into a block like this. How can we not do that? The 7-eyed man said to the father. So why did you come to the tree to oppose? Save the land. The prince replied, the prince promised me. As long as we beat the wind, he will ordain the land of the west for me. I said, see such a good opportunity. Why didn't we do it? Catherine, watch out. It's not that I didn't work at all. Then the Duke laughed and Catherine spoke coldly. You have to watch out. You guessed everything right. Laughing, standing up and clapping. To make the Duke switch from gratification to the utmost amazement. He said his plan had been successful. The Duke's working hard for you to put on this play. You were outstanding yesterday. I can't help but applaud. But it's about acting skills. Catherine was 1 step higher. The Duke shouted aloud, Catherine the child. Maybe Catherine's cold right now. Look at the evil father in front of you. Say no wrong. I basically didn't quit. Holding the dark blue potion, still in my hand, Catherine remembered. Zoe talked about the plan with me. In the Atlantic before. In the room at the time. After listening to Fong talk about the plan, Catherine asked to coordinate with him. To play a play. How to save the correct flight room to go there to write what to say. You keep looking for that. Coordinate his dedicated performance. Let's see what he wants to play. The formula of feeling led by the kids. Angry shout out loud, that's good. She's been acting with me since the beginning. Right, Catherine replied coldly. How to play, laughing. I did have a good daughter. Know how to eat apple trees, fig trees. You're not my daughter anymore. Your name is not given as a family name. To support again. She likes to hold her head and scream. Just go and be a commoner. Catherine turned her head angrily and didn't want to hear anymore. He turned to tell the wind. To save the Baron for my loss. Based on the royal decree of the Kingdom of Stalking. You can't kill me. I'll pay part of the ransom. I lost because of you. See the dirty words out of the Grand Duke's mouth. Save the angry wind holding hands to power. Give the Duke a punch. The blood in my mouth. Old recipe, name punch to punch. Suddenly lost some teeth. Fall the mango waves on the ground. Don't worry, I won't kill you. This one's for Catherine. Then he bent down and pulled the Kier public servant up. One more punch in the other face. Say more, and I punched him simply because I didn't fit his eye. Save the wind, he dropped the Duke in free fall. The sun shines golden on the Somalian citadels. He raised his hand and ordered Mina to take him down. Locked up with his son. Take it back to the Atlantic tomorrow. He also asked Niu to lead the team, the soldiers they brought back. Mina grabbed the Duke's collar and said yes. Back to Catazenia. Sitting down and talking. Catharina said he's your father anyway. Let her decide the casino. His eyes full of 7 voices refused. No thank you for sending them. You helped me see my father again. Do whatever you want to punish. Save the sad look at Catharina. Then suddenly he put his hand on her shiny blonde hair. Soft comforting eyes. Don't worry, Atlantic City will be your home. We are all family. You can see me as your brother. Catharina stood up when she heard that. My face is a little pink and I can't stand it. He can't be your brother. My brother is hateful enough. When I hear you, I laugh unless I hear you. The Catharina looks in the shadow of Liu Feng's back. Her hands gently gripped her red face and laughed silently. A man of one house with his sons. To save the wind after turning his back on.